was going to say you need a belt. Here, you go. This peanut butter. Do you like that one? You like that one? Okay.
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 Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Buddy,
Sit
I'm
down.
going to put you in the house if you don't behave.
You have to sit down. You can't have the birdie. You can't have the birdie. Let me find y'all. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Buddy. No. He wants to go because Daddy went. Okay. Let's see. There we go. How's that? I'm here. There we go. Yeah. It's yeah, there's a bird here that's kind of driving Buddy crazy. It's got a nest and it's taking worms to its babies, but it has to stop along the way. Just enough to make Buddy upset. So hopefully he'll behave himself. But 81 degrees in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Hey, Deborah. And it's not, it's muggy here. We got cloudy skies, and it's warm. But like I said, since it's so cloudy, we don't, you don't really feel the heat as much. But there isn't much air. I mean, I'm used to a nice breeze going through here, and there's not much breeze at all. But hey, Kyle and Patrick. Patrick's in Canada. How's the weather up there, Patrick? I know, our weather is between hot and rainy. That's Florida in the summer. Yeah, I don't know what Canada's like. My neighbors are up there, and they've never said, what summers were like up there. Now when we went to Pembina, we were right across the border from Manitoba, and they had some beautiful weather there. They really did. It was like 84, and I said in the evenings it was cool enough that you could sleep, and really, really nice. Kathy says, "Hi, Skip and Sue. My husband and I were planning on building a new home in the villages. However, do you feel the villages has become too lax with their age restriction rule?" And there's differing opinions about this because of the size. The age restriction thing. I say it's something to be concerned about, but I don't think it's to the point now to where I wouldn't come here. It's just somebody needs to keep a foot in their butt and make them aware that this is still going on, and see if they'll do anything about it. I don't know who's in charge of that. I think that's actually the developers' bailiwick, but I'm not sure. It's a little bit different, inside rules and outside rules. A little bit different, and I'm not too up on that. But I wouldn't make that change my decision if I wanted to be here, because there's so many pluses here. There really is. That's it's not a big issue in a lot of places. We don't have that problem here in this neighborhood. Never have really. And like I said, but I know there are some the newer neighborhoods that have renters, and a lot of in the older section they have a lot of kids coming to help grandma out, that kind of thing. But I don't think it's such that it would stop you from living here, because that's the main thing. You can do anything here, and I said I wouldn't let that stop me from coming here if that's what I wanted to do. If you stay busy, you don't even notice that kind of thing. Skip reports it on the news because it is important to know, but it's not enough that it has changed our mind about living here. I said this is a wonderful place, and I don't think you'll find anywhere that has the pluses that they do here. Something that like I said they need to be aware of is the enforcement of these rules. They've got rules. I mean, you can read your deed restrictions, and they'll tell you all the rules. That's on districtgov.org. But who enforces those rules? and I said, somebody needs to keep on them, in which Skip hounds them a lot because he feels like that's his duty to do that. But I said, we're not moving anytime soon. And I said, the few things that does happen here, the drunk driving, the drugs, is so minimal for the size of this place. I mean, we're the size of probably Gainesville, and there's a big difference if you look at your statistics in the police blotter. Look at your statistics. And I said, if we get a few drunk drivers, yeah. We get a few people living with grandma that are pain in the butt, yeah. But it's not so much that it would hinder my living here. So, kind of up to you. Well, you're welcome, Kathy. Let's see. Oh, Florence from Long Island, New York, 79 degrees. That's pretty good. This time of year, we had that big heat wave that went through, and it affected us as we come home from up north, and then we had to make a quick trip back to Indiana, and we felt that heat wave as we come south. Some of the places that weren't normally in the 90s were really, really warm, and it was funny to see the difference. Around here, when it's warm, people go on about their business. They do their golfing and pickleball and tennis and whatever they'd normally be doing. And I said, up north, when it gets hot like this, you won't see a person out. They'll be inside in the air conditioning, unless they have to work. In which I feel for the people who have to work out in the heat. I really do, but thankfully I don't have to do that no more. And Karen says she agrees with me. Yeah, it's a wonderful place, and I said the enforcement of the rules. Like I said, that's something that you need to keep on them about, because you don't want it to get to the point where it's a big problem. But seeing how the population is as big as it is, it's not that big a deal. Not to me, anyhow. William says, let everyone know when news breaks, Skip will fix it. Well, I said, if he does it like everything else, it's in his own time. And Deborah Bird says, yeah, you get that anywhere you live. That's true. Anywhere in Florida. Florida is full of people trying to get out of the bad weather up north. And I said, they have the same problems that we do. I said, we're just a larger population. But I said, we don't. I said, it's not affected us. We know about it, but it's not affected us. And I think that's the way with most of us. Karen will probably agree with that also. It's not affected her lifestyle. Palm Beach Peter says, hello, y'all. Palm Beach. I've never been to Palm Beach, Peter. I don't. I said that I can remember anyhow. And I've done a lot of bus tours and things like that, but I don't think I've been to Palm Beach. I've heard it was a wonderful place. But hope you're having a great day. And let's see.
You still look good.
Yeah. Oh. Palm Beach to Miss Sue and Mr. Skip and Pup. Love and gratitude to y'all. Peter and Mom in Spanish Springs at Villa Lago Villas. I like that place up there. I always did. When we first come down here, Spanish Springs was all there was, and it was just really different the way they designed those, to where it was very convenient to get into town. And I really liked it up there, and I liked that Spanish feel. Spanish Springs. That's the way it was built, was to have that Spanish feel, and I hope they're not getting too far away from that with the new construction. I don't think they are, but I hope they keep all that, because it was very, very unique at the time.
That's how you kill rabbits.
Oh, I was waiting. Linda Moretti says, hi, Sue, listening to you as my husband and I drive back from Biloxi. Oh, I love Biloxi. We always went to the Jefferson Davis home. And like I said, we were driving through there one day, and we happened to notice turn the sound down. We happened to notice a cemetery that had all rebel flags on it, and didn't know what it was. And so we stopped to take a look. Of course, a video. And you can probably find that in the archives and skipping through our RV thing. But we stopped to take a look at this cemetery with the all the rebel flags. And I said, then we found the Jefferson Davis home. It was right there in front of it. It was really an experience to go through there. And I said, it's funny because when we took a tour, the tour guide asked us all where we were from. And when Skip said the villages, one of the ladies, and I know you probably heard this story before, but one of the ladies just come up for air. She said, "Oh, I've heard all about that place." Because if you look on the internet, you find a lot of crazy things about us.
STD capital of the world, she said. I said, no, it's not. She said, oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
I've read all about it.
Yeah, she was arguing with
I said,
him.
who are you going to believe? Something that you read on the internet or somebody that lives there? And so she made me so goddamn mad. I left. I told Sheila, so I'm not even going to go on this tour. I went outside.
Yeah.
By the way, watch for this video. I'm working on one now with a lot of facts, figures, and names of the capital of STDs. And just as a deal breaker, I guess, or whatever, it ain't the villages, and you're going to be surprised. And I'm talking about just the state of Florida. And I'll do a video, show you names, doctors, nurses, letters, and we're going to put an end to this crap once and for all.
Yes. Barbara Abner says, does Skip have gummies on board? He was a hoot last week. I don't think so.
I ate them all last night. Yeah.
You should have kept them for when you really hurt.
They ain't gummies. I mean, it's a gummy, but it's not gummies. It's just a big round blob of crap. And you just bite off what you want, I guess.
Do you think it might have been from just getting hot in the car? Or is that's the way it's made?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know that's what Skippy gave me, and that's what was in there.
Oh, okay.
Buddy liked it, too.
Buddy liked it, too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyhow. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully that'll keep him happy the rest of the day. But, yeah, he hadn't took any today because he finished them all last night. I am going to have to see about how to get them here. I know in Ohio, our son told us that they have only medicinal, not just medicinal, but they also have recreational, and you don't need your medical card or anything like that there. So, but
yeah, in Ohio, you go to these different websites. What the hell is that?
That's a bug.
It looks like a love bug.
It might be.
Is that time of year?
Well,
it was May and September.
Well, that's usually when it is.
Maybe it's not, but by God, that's what it looks like. It's probably something else.
Yeah. Well, we haven't.
Probably the swamp thing.
Oh, the swamp thing.
No.
Okay. Jerry says, "Hey, y'all." Alfonso Smith said, "Could I be happy with a house in a 250,000 range, single man, in a more active neighborhood close to the towns and shops in the villages?" Oh, absolutely. I mean, the range here is. That's if you don't want a brand new one. A brand new one is going to start in about that range.
I don't know. Somebody told me that they got some brand new patio villas down there around 250.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you don't want a brand new one.
No, brand new. Somebody told me they had brand new patio villas around 250.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people look at those, but then they worry about the bond.
Bond and what else is it down there? They're having all kinds of issues down there, arguments that I'm reading about. One is the electric company. They have a different electric company there than we do here. There's something about that. You better read on that. And then something about property taxes there. Part of that down there is not part of our county. It's part of Leesburg. Mm-hmm. And Leesburg's not Sumter, right? I don't know.
It's not.
There's just some issues down there you need to read about. There's some problems they're having down there with a couple of sinkholes. They're arguing about who's going to pay for it, the residents or the developer. One of them's out there by a street, so now they're arguing about whether the landowner should pay for that sinkhole or does the city of Wildwood need to pay for that sinkhole. But listen, these are problems that we've seen pop up everywhere anyway, but they're just having them down there right now. Yeah,
but yeah, 250,000 range, that would give you a nice house, I think. And I said some of the...
Well, even in pre-owned area, you can buy $250,000 houses in pre-owned area, and I've always said, and Phil will tell you the same thing, do not turn your nose up to a pre-owned home.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff's already done.
The problem with pre-owned homes generally, if you're supposed to up north of 466, is the age limit. If you're 50 years old, the odds are you're going to buy in a neighborhood that has an average age of 80 because it's older up there. That's the only problem, like I say. And if that's a problem, maybe not. But if you're 50 years old or 55 years old, you get around well, you're going to be the neighborhood repair guy.
Yeah, if you want
Trust
to
me
be,
on that.
if you want to be active, that's what you'll be active at.
Hey,
But yeah,
Bob, I got some pie I just made. Would you like to come over for some pie? That's how it starts.
and that's a wonderful thing. The people around here, our neighbors are wonderful, and the people around here are like that. But yeah, if you want to get into some of the sports and things like that, um, anywhere around here, and like you said, don't turn down a used home because so much stuff is already done for you. That's the problem with new homes is you've got all these decisions to make. It takes months, to decide what color this and how many of that, and it takes months to do that. And if you're not up for anything like that, there's some great uh, older homes here. And I said they don't have to be old because the Villages isn't old. The historic section has got some age on it, but there's still some beautiful places there. And there's not anything here like every town that you go to's got a west side.
Also,
There's no west side here.
let me tell you about the historical area, too. Everybody seems to think it's all house trailers and what do you call them? House trailers are only so feet wide, and they have basically 10 on the side. Most of those have been sold and taken out. People bought them lots and then built a new house there, so the house trailers are gone. But also up there, and it's not a lot of them, but there's a few around. There's some stick-built homes up there. The one that we were going to buy was straight across the street from the Orange Blossom Gardens Country Club. It's built in the side of a hill, stucco, beautiful home. They just told me back then I wasn't old enough to buy it, or I would have bought it.
Yeah, but yeah, 250,000. That'll get you a nice place here, and you can be as active as you want. Like I said, there's 3,000 and some clubs here. That doesn't count your baseball, your soccer, the polo fields. There's no doubt you can be very busy here. And I said 250,000. That's a good price, actually, good range.
Yeah, there's some available, not a lot. You'll have to probably compromise on what exactly you want, exactly where you want to be. You find one for 250, I say just jump on it because there's no bad place to just actually live. It's just if you buy a villa, the biggest problem that I know about villas are, one is usually parking. Parking's an issue. And then quit. Two is investment people buy villas to rent them out in the wintertime. That's what they do. And they hang on to the property until it goes up in value and then they dump it. But you never know who your neighbor's going to be. It could be somebody that's renting, could be somebody that's short-term, long-term, people be in and out. I mean, these are things that can happen, and you don't know who they are until you buy the house.
Yeah. Let's see. And Laura was telling him you should be able to get a 250,000 home near Spanish Springs Town Square.
What?
Laura's telling him that he should be able to get a $250,000 home around
I think so.
Spanish. He wants to be around town, so around Spanish Springs.
Well,
yeah.
In town, we don't have an in town. We have a Spanish Springs. We have a Lake Sumter. We have a Brownwood. We don't have an Eastport. Which town? So depending on what town he picks, he may or may not find a 250,000.
Right, and that's why you're. It pays to come down here and stay for a few days and take a look around and kind of feel out exactly where you want to be. You go to where if you're a pickleball player, you want to be in a certain area. If you're a baseball player, there's a certain area. So come down and visit. Come down and visit and check it out, and it'll be easy to figure it out then. He wants to come. He wants to eat all your cookies. I don't know what his yapping is. I said he just started doing that. He's driving me crazy. The yipping if he wants something. He never did that before.
He's your dog. You're the one that taught him everything he knows.
I told him how to
You're
yip.
the same mother that tells everybody how nice and sweet your boy is. At the same time, he's doing drugs in the bedroom and shoving Advil pills up his girl's vagina.
Not my boys.
That's the way you mothers are.
You're talking about something that was on your news.
That's
not me.
That's highly unusual for my little Billy.
Oh.
Billy's always been such a quiet boy.
No, I know my boys, and they got your sensibility. So, but
What? What do you mean sensibility?
I don't know how to put it.
I'm very sensible.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Yeah, Skip's doing his homework. He's trying, but he's trying to catch up with everything. We were gone for, we were gone for 3 weeks, and we come home for about 3 days and had to go for another week, and so we got a lot of
I
stuff.
don't think I'm still recovered fully.
Yeah,
I
we
just
got a
feel
lot of stuff
zonked
backed
out.
up, and
Just feel like like being gone all week in a semi truck and getting home. Feel like you only been home for a day. I got to go back out again. You have that feeling like, Jesus, I hate this job.
it was kind of one of those kind of months, and so we got a lot to catch up on. But we're getting there, a little bit at a time. We both feel like crap, but we're getting there. I've got appointments coming out my ears.
By the way,
trying to
I
catch
didn't
up.
feel good all last night. I really didn't. That's why I didn't eat nothing like all day yesterday. I don't know, my stomach or something. It hurt. Had this pain. I pooped a while ago and the pain went away.
I can tell you something. You got your sound on.
Huh?
Your sound is on. I know you can't hear it, but it's on. Let's see. Yes, someone did have their volume up. Wasn't me.
Saying what?
Someone had their volume on.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we are kind of tired of traveling now. I said, I love to travel, but we're kind of wore out. I think it's age because I never had that problem before.
I ain't getting no younger, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I hate being in a hurry.
You see that black woman over there on the Prime truck? Well, you can't see her. Delivering. I've watched her around here before. Of all the different Prime people, I'm not saying she's the only one, but I really like it when she delivers my packages. Watch her. I mean, if she goes up the sidewalk, she's very careful when she says she don't throw things down. So watch her. Lay it over, lay it down. Just take a picture and walk back. Why can't the rest of them do that? There's one black guy, tall guy. I don't know who he is. I'm saying black because he's black. The tall guy comes up there. I swear to God, he drops the box starting here up to the door. He just kind of gives it one of them.
Oh my! Well,
she doesn't do that.
No, she's always very careful.
Because they don't know that what's in there. This electronic stuff is very sensitive, and that's what I usually buy. Cameras and shit. If you throw that stuff up there like that, you can just run it right there. Yeah. How about you guys? You guys like your Amazon guy, or do you ever see him? I know most of you work, so you're gone all day, and you probably come home and the crap's just sitting there on the porch. But around here, when you're retired, you intimately get to know everybody that comes to your house. The landscaper, the mailman. We got a mail lady up here that if she can't put her package, because she knows everybody that goes to that mail station up here. Yeah. And she'll put their package in her car, and on her way home, she'll come by your house. Yeah. I don't even know how she knows where I live. Oh, the address is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get to know our delivery people a lot because they're here a lot.
Yeah, you just get to know everybody intimately. Well, even in Brownsburg, I will say our mail lady up there, I went out there one day to catch her. I was outside doing some work or something. And I got to talking to her, and come to find out, she was the same mail lady we had in Hartford City. Remember her? Yeah. She said, I just transferred down here from Hartford City because we're talking. I used to live there, and we're talking to her. And I asked her how she ended up down there. She told me she's getting ready to retire, and that was the reason why she moved to the Indianapolis area. But, yeah, that was just kind of weird, And then she told me, she says, the difference between Indianapolis routes and the ones you had in Hartford City route, small town Hartford City, is that she knew everybody on the route. She had talked to all of them, knew about the grandkids, everything. Yeah. We waste a mailman's time so much by talking to them.
That's right.
But in Indianapolis, she says nobody talked to her. They're all working. Nobody's home. She just puts it in there. I'm the only one that ever talked to her, I think.
And we always call her the Hat Lady.
The Hat Lady, and we always gave her a Christmas of some kind.
Now they call me the Hat Lady. I don't ever wear it on the channel, but I wear a hat most of the time, just to keep the sun off of me. So, but I think they're cute. Okay, let's see.
By the way, that mockingbird has a nest in that bush right there. That's why she's hanging around.
Yeah.
She's got a little lizard in her mouth right now. She's trying to get in there and feed her baby. The other day, I saw a big tail sticking out of that bush, and I came out here, and I call it a chicken hawk, some kind of a hawk, and it had one of the babies. and flew off with it. So it's probably got a nest around here somewhere too. And there was only one baby left, but I don't know how long that baby's going to last because now that chicken hawk knows where they're at.
Uh-huh.
And
well, I don't know. Maybe that's
right
why
there,
that bird was so crazy. I thought he was feeding the babies. Because
well,
when
if they're
Chano
not-
did...
it may not know that the baby's gone.
Oh,
I don't know that it is gone. There was only one left in there about 3 days ago.
okay.
And I don't know how many she had, actually. I think 2.
Well, Chano took off some hanging...
Huh?
Chano took off some hanging leaves on that tree, and I think ever since then the bird's been a little bit nuts.
You know, buddy. I asked him about that. I said, it looks like we must have had some wind. Snapped some of them limbs off up there. He said, no, squirrels.
Squirrels?
I said, what? He said, yeah, squirrels. I said, I think sometimes he's lying to me. He just jacks with me. But he said, no, he said, the squirrels get up there. He said, we see it all the time, and they chew on the limbs for some reason. He don't know why.
Hey.
And when they do that, the limbs break off. And that's why some of our limbs up there are shorter than others. But he says,
Okay.
but I don't know if I've ever seen but one squirrel around here ever. When do they go up there? When do they go up there? He asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
When do they go up there?
When?
Well, I thought you were going to tell me.
Well, I don't get up early, so that's when you see squirrels out here.
I see rabbits. I don't see many squirrels. I see rabbits
I see
a lot.
a squirrel once,
Yeah.
and he run over there.
Did you see in the paper where that one place, I think it was North Dakota or South Dakota, and the whole town's being overrun by squirrels? They were going to have to come up with.
Well, in Indiana, years ago, many years ago, probably before I was born, there was a black squirrel that used to be all over Indiana. They were on the Midwest. I think Ohio had some, Michigan had some. They were just in that area right there. And then they went extinct for some reason. I think the story I remember was there was a little squirrel called a piney. Quit it. And pineys are very territorial, and they run anything that's in their territory out. Any other squirrel, they'll run them out.
Oh.
And they say that's what happened to the black squirrel. The piney run them out.
Oh, okay.
Now, if that's true, and I don't know if it is true, my grandpa and a bunch of guys, the American Legion, got together, raised some money, and they went, I want to say, went to Michigan, and they actually bought some wild black squirrels. And got permission from Indiana. There was a whole big paperwork trail. Shut up. So he brought it back to Indiana, went to Alexandria, Indiana. That's where my Uncle Bill had a bicycle shop. And they went to some park in Alexandria. All of this was procured and agreed by the politicians of Alexandria and Anderson and Madison County and all that. I've got I think the letters in there from all these people, the governor at that time and stuff. And they turned them loose. Hopefully it'd make a population. Well, the last time Sue and I went up to Van Buren for my sister's funeral, which has been
last week,
maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
She went in there. She went over to the nest. I see her.
Don't lose your train of thought.
Apparently the baby's in there. So anyway, I saw a black squirrel running across the road up there. I didn't say anything, but I saw it. So if you see a black squirrel running around there, whether you hate it or whether you love it, my grandpa and his buddies at the American Legion put them back in the wild for you.
Yeah. Hey, TR, how you doing? It's a beautiful day. It's cloudy. It's kind of overcast, but it's warm, and I said, we're good. It ain't raining on us yet, so we're good.
There's a breeze going through here.
Yeah. It wasn't anything when we first started, but now that there is a breeze. Oh. Now I know why. Yeah, turn the fan on. And Karen says, Kevin and I have our home located in the village of Buttonwood on the market. It is centrally located between Lake Sumter Landing and Brownwood Paddock Square. There you go. There's a nice used home, and it's got everything. I am just surprised at how much new. It has a new roof, a new air conditioner.
You're fixing to go back in the house real quick.
And like I said, all that's been done to it. So it's and it's plenty enough for one person, let me tell you. It's a really nice home. That's something to look into.
Well, what's nice about theirs is they've had all the things that people have inspected, and what inspectors find wrong, they've had already fixed.
Right.
Well, not really fixed. They've had taken care of. A new roof.
But right? I mean, that's big money.
Well, yeah, it is big money. And they probably didn't need a new roof. There was no leaks or anything. But around here, because insurance companies and stuff, if you're going to sell that house, that's one of the things the insurance companies is really going to nail you about is your roof. Mm-hmm. If it's 10 years old or older, you can ask Ira. they're going to demand you put a new roof on that house anyway.
Hey.
So they went ahead and just did it. What else did they have? A new water heater, wasn't it? That's another thing that the insurance will get you on water heaters. If they're 10 years old or older, the odds are they're going to tell you as a new homeowner, if you buy it, they will not insure the house until you replace that water heater. So Kevin's already done all that. I don't know what else he's done, but they've done a lot over there.
They have. And it's in a nice area in Buttonwood. So
Buttonwood's a good area. I like Buttonwood area. Buttonwood, Penny Camp, and there's another one over there. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. And Lawrence has quite a few site-built homes on the historic side. There was a couple site-built homes on the street in the village of Silver Lake that I rented in last year. Yeah, they pulled those old trailers out as they got older and started building site-built homes there. And the historic side is kind of nice because it's a lot more compact than what the rest of us is.
They have less rules there too, either good or bad, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. But I mean, you could walk the whole thing without any problem. You can go to the library, you can go to the tennis courts, the pool. Everything is walking distance. It's very, very compact and very clean. Oh, Daddy.
Yeah. You need a drink. You need a drink. Drink here.
Get a drink.
Stupid here.
And then TR says, I'd like to live close to a postal station and a pool when I retire. That's the main thing. Decide what it is that you want. And that'll tell you where you want to buy a home.
That'll tell you where you want to buy, right.
Yeah. What are you going to do? You got to play baseball. You want to go do pickleball. You want to do go to the rec centers or want to go uptown and listen to music. That will tell you where you want to buy.
Or you want to be a hermit.
Yeah, if you want to be a hermit.
Yeah, you can do that. I do it. I don't get out much anymore.
Yeah. Darrison says Brownwood is a great square. It is. Our personal favorite is Lake Sumter. Although it's become so crowded, I don't know if it would still be our favorite, but we don't go there much anymore. But Brownwood's great. I mean, it's got everything you need. It's got shopping. It's got food. And they put on a lot of special stuff there. Of course, they do in all the squares. And everybody's anticipating the opening of Eastport, which is the new square. And they're going to have everything right there. That's what is so intriguing about it. They're going to have the rec center, the boating, everything's going to be right there at Eastport, where now you have to go somewhere to do all that stuff. So, like I'm really looking forward to opening. I want to see what they get down there.
I don't mind looking at it. I don't mind going there and having dinner once in a while, but I sure would want to live there. This is just me. I didn't buy in a retirement community to live around a bunch of kids. Nothing against kids, but that's what's going to be down there. There's school down there. There's a big family area down there.
No, you're talking Middleton. I'm talking Eastport. That's
all different. The same. It's all the same.
No, it isn't.
Eastport, Middleton, all these little towns around, it's the same. That's like saying the Speedway's not part of Indianapolis. It is.
Yeah, come on. Well, I said, it's Popeye. I don't know. It wasn't me, but yeah. Laura says the Southside Pool in Village of Silver Lake is open after dark. I think is a great feature. At least that is how it was last year when I rented.
That's a county rule. That's not a village's thing. So don't get that mixed up. The villages ain't saying that can stay open till 11 o'clock. That's the county up there saying it can stay open till 11 o'clock. Ours is being closed what time? It's before dark, I know that.
Yeah,
because the county rule is it can't stay open later unless you have lights around the pool, which we don't. So that's why we have to close.
And I said, and the northern section, they do have lights around them. And it's the only public hot tub up there.
Not public.
Well, I mean, for the villagers.
As far as I know, it's the only hot tub.
Yeah, there is one.
There's a country club up there, I think, at Orange Blossom Gardens.
But I mean, free to villagers.
Well, yeah, free to villagers.
It is on the historic side.
It's the only hot tub.
If you're big on hot tubs, that's a plus right there.
It just seems to me it's part of it. Why would you have a swimming pool at a retirement community and say, "Oh, we're not putting in a hot tub"? You expect it at a hotel. People expect a free breakfast anymore. They don't ask about it. They expect a free breakfast at a hotel. That's how far it came. And swimming pools at all hotels, I think it should be a requirement. Hot tub. I've never been to a hotel that never had a hot tub. Even at swanky one up there in the middle of God's land nowhere when we was up there around the Buffalo and all that stuff up there, right? What is it, North Dakota?
Yeah.
And that old log cabin had a hot tub.
And Popeye, he's not really, like I said, when he tries to make a point, it sounds like that, but he's not really. Why we're having
Somebody saying I'm an asshole?
saying you were nasty today.
I'm nasty today.
Yeah.
What makes you nasty?
Like I said, when you try to make a point, it sounds like you're trying to shove it down their throat. But
maybe they should move on to a different channel.
Well,
they don't have to worry about it.
No, I said they got to get used to you. That's just you. But
that's just me.
Yeah, and I wish all the pools were open late too, because like Skip can't be out in the sun, so that would be a real plus.
If they were open at night, I would go to them.
Yeah, and I said, and there's been controversy back and forth about putting something over the pools for that kind of thing, because a lot of people can't be in the sun. And
well, if they do anything now, this isn't the developer doing this. Once they turn everything over to the district, now whatever you want to upgrade within that district comes out of your amenity fees for that district or maintenance fees. Somehow they got to come up with the money. In other words, the residents are going to pay for it. And then how far it stretches, that's where one neighborhood will say, well, we're going to have this hot tub. Let's say in Hillsborough, we're having a hot tub. If it's in Hillsborough, that means that any villager anywhere in here can use that hot tub. Anybody. That's part of having your ID card. I can go to the historic site and use their hot tub. It's a long way up there, so I won't, but I mean, I could. And they could come down here and use our swimming pool. That's part of the deal. So you have to get into, if they're going to use it, should they pay for it? This is the argument you get into.
Yeah. So, and I said they started actually doing something about it, and then it was a controversy. Do all of them do it, or just one? If just one does it, it's going to overrule that.
It is. If they put a hot tub, say here in Hillsborough in District 10, we have a hot tub. Then you got to get in with the PWAC so they can all argue. The supervisors of your district and other districts will get together, they argue back and forth, and then they say, well, we're decided we're going to put one hot tub in each district, not every pool. So now where do we put that hot tub in each district? Because in each district, there's at least one adult pool, and that's my vote. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to go to the children's pool. They'll use it like a bathtub. Well, and then I said the controversy with covering some part of the pool. They threw it out. They got so far on it, and it was a great idea. They were going to put some kind of covering on a certain part of the pool, not the whole pool, but a certain part. I understand the whole pool, adult pools only. They're going to cover it, and then the argument was they said they're going to cover one pool until the argument started. Well, what one pool is that? Well, they're thinking about this one over here because it's centrally located compared to everything. Well, why put it over there? I want it over here. Yeah. And now it's just been thrown out. Yeah, they just discontinued it altogether. So. Costco. Got to have a Costco. We need a Costco. I'm going to sign a petition. Go to this website. I've got a petition for Costco. I love Costco. We got to have a Costco. I'm getting tired. I got to get my Costco card today. I want my card today. And then they read your report the next day. Boy, Costco sure is causing a traffic problem around here. I don't know what we're going to do about it. You guys have got to do something about it. The village just has to do something about it. The villages don't have anything to do with it. But that's how it goes. First we want it, then we think it's a problem. Yeah, but that's the way it is anywhere. Growth scares people, I think. But well, the difference is it's hard to compare our community to other communities because most communities that have these same problems, they're not have age restrictions on them. Yeah. But we do here. And that's the big controversy. That's the big controversy going on right now, in case you guys don't know. The developer wants to turn over the age restriction rules to be enforced by your district supervisors. He wants out of that game. And now they're arguing about, well, all of a sudden is he wanting to do that for us? Is this going to cost us more money? We need to look into this problem a little further. Yeah. So this is what's going on. But anyhow, I wouldn't let that stop you if you want to come down here. That's it, because it's one of the few places that I could say that about. But like I said, we've been to a lot of places. We looked at a lot of places before we come here, and not only the size, but the amount of things that's available here, and that's why it's a golf cart community. The things that are available by golf cart, you don't need a car. I mean, you can go to the hospital, you can go to the doctor, you can go to the grocery. I can't think of how many things there are that you can go by golf cart. And it's not only a gas saver, but like I said, if you do the electronic one, it's saving
saving the planet, that kind of thing.
Greg says, when are we going to go to Hooters? Well, I've already got a hold of Linda and Judy. I already know what Sue thinks about it. And Jose, he's working on his, POS 1 to get it up and going, I guess. But so they haven't got back with me. I told them all to pick a day because those are the ones that he's got something to do on this day. Linda's got something to do on that day, and I don't get involved anymore. So I say, pick a day, let me know. So as soon as they let me know, I'll let you know, Craig.
Yeah. And Darren wants to know if Buddy's happy that Mom and Dad are back, or does he prefer Judy? He was real good with Judy. He really was. I mean, he was good for her, and he minded her better than he does me. And I think he liked being with Tulu, Judy's little dog. Tulu's a little older, a little bit quieter, and female. And I said, I don't think they interacted a whole lot because they're age different, but I think he liked her being around. And I know Tulu was the same way. She kind of liked to be around.
I understand Judy said Tulu kept stealing his treats.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, Buddy's one of these that's picky about everything. And Tulu, she'll eat anything you put in front of her. Let's see. DL2, Somewhere in the Sun. Sue, you look great in hats. Well, thank you. Like I say, I don't normally wear one on the show, but otherwise, anywhere time I go out, I usually have a hat on. I've had a lot of Mohs surgery on my face, and going to have to do some more as soon as I make that appointment. So I try to keep my face shaded, try to keep it out of the sun because of that. So I wear a lot of hats. Laura says, my dog Josie is not reacting when we see squirrels or rabbits on our walks any longer. Yesterday we got about 5 foot from a rabbit. Well, I said, Buddy, I don't know when he gets to that age when he won't notice. Katie, when we had Katie, she was a lot older. And she would see these geckos and just kind of ignore them. She would see the cranes when they'd walk by. I checked to see if she was blind because she just acted like they weren't there. But I
think some watched. She had vision problems. She never walked in a wall or anything, but
but I think she just didn't care.
I don't know. I'm seeing her out here sitting here, and a lizard be 2 feet in front of her, and she just acts like she don't even see it.
Yeah.
But she had sugar. That's why I think maybe she had a little bit of vision problems.
Yeah. Anne Marie said, we have some black squirrels in areas on Long Island, and I have seen them in the Bronx too. She said, hi, all. Well, hey, Anne Marie. Yeah, it was, at first it was kind of a, I don't know, once in a lifetime thing. You didn't see black ones all the time. You've seen a lot of squirrels, you didn't see black ones.
Well, I don't think they were extinct, but in that particular area, there used to be a lot of them. Grandpa said he remember seeing them as a kid. Uncle Bill said the same thing. They used to be everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess they're no good for eating. They're kind of like pineys. Nobody ever eats a piney. They're little bitty squirrels that make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Why they don't eat them, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I know. That they went extinct in that area right there, and he wanted them to come back because he thought it was something that should be in the area because they've always been in that area, and he felt like that something we've done as human beings is run them off. I don't know if that's true or if they got ate by the local chicken hawks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, they got them, brought them back to Alexandria, turned them loose. All this was done, noted by the mayor and governors and shit. It was a big deal. They turned them into now today. If you go up in the Indiana area, you see black squirrels, you can blame my grandpa and my Uncle Bill.
Yeah. Well, of all the things you can blame them for, that one, that's not a bad thing. And Susan Ray Norton says, hi, y'all. Amanda Hood says, hello, Sue and Skip. Nice to see you. Your nails are pretty. Thank you. Listen, I'm not one of those that has my hair done every week, but I do get my nails done.
Julie's wanting to know if we got our flowers at Sissy's funeral.
Yes.
We did? Okay. Yes, Julie, we did.
Yes, and thank you so much, hon. And I said we did tell people, not to send flowers, and but that's okay. That was a wonderful thought.
Yeah, it's a problem when you live to be old, real long. Is all your friends and family die before you, and then when it's time you go to have a funeral, you go to the funeral and there's like 6 people there. There's nobody left alive.
Yeah. Jen Smith wants to know if Karen Kevin's bought a new house, and if they are you going to let Skip show us? I don't think they bought the new one yet. I think they've got to
Now
sell the one they
trying to sell
got.
this one first, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. They'll get it sold eventually. I don't know why. I don't know what the prices are doing down here. They're going up, going down. There's big controversy about our interest rates about to go down because some fight Trump's having with somebody. I don't know. And so sometimes I think people are waiting. I think most of the people waiting are probably investors because they invest millions of dollars at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can save a point, that's a lot of money for them. And so, I don't know. Take advantage now while they got a lot to choose from, or wait until the interest goes down and the investors buy them up and you got nothing to choose from.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, somewhere in the Sands, I just saw a listing, house, northern area, or Lake Sumter Landing, forget which village, with 50-year shingles and 25 years on labor. Does that exist?
50-year shingle. First of all, I don't think that's true at all. They're 30-year shingles. They're architectural shingles. That's what I've got. They're 30-year shingles. Mine came with a factory on the shingle itself, 10-year warranty. Those warranties exist. Yeah, 10-year warranties on. That's what mine is. Now, I can't speak for the house you're talking about. You need to double check, get the paperwork, make sure. But what I can tell you is that even the 10-year warranty thing, that if something happens, they will guarantee the shingle, not the labor or anything else it takes to tear them off and replace them. That's going to be on you.
Yeah.
And the shingle, truthfully, is the cheapest part of the roof. It's the labor and stuff that's going to cost you.
Yeah, and I said the 50-year shingle and 25-year thing. Let me tell you, the roofing guy told us about that, and that might be what they're advertising. The shingle people are advertising, but it's what your insurance company allows.
Yeah.
And that's why we've got a 30-year shingle, but it's really only warranted for 10 years.
It's warranted for 10. The insurance will allow it, as long as there's no problem, the insurance will let it go for 20. After that, you're going to get a letter from your insurance company saying, we will no longer insure this house unless you replace your shingles. And then after you replace them, the insurance company's going to tell you they won't renew your policy until they come out and inspect it. I mean, it's a whole different bag now than what it used to be in Indiana when we had insurance on our house. It's almost like they're tightening up the loopholes to where they got down to the point now where you're going to pay something. They're not paying for all of it.
Yeah.
Indiana's almost a game. Let's wait until the next hailstorm. We'll get a new roof. I mean, that's what everybody did. We just waited because our insurance company would replace the whole roof.
Yeah, and they don't do that no more.
Not here.
Medicare Guru is in the house, but not on the porch. Hey, Craig, how are you?
Nobody comes out here when it's 90 degrees outside and sultry like this. By the way, I'm thinking real serious. For those of you that come all the time watch this, it seems like this thing freezes up after about an hour or a little over an hour. Freezes up or just quits working. This has happened 2 and 3 times out here in the summer. Very possible this Saturday thing or the Wednesday thing, the Porch Settin thing, I may limit. If it does it again today, I'm trying something up here. If it does it again today, we're going to cut it down to 1 hour. 1 hour on when we're outside Porch Settin until the weather breaks.
Yeah.
Did you see where they're talking about another heat wave coming down here, like 117 degrees?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
It was on the news last night.
Great. Where are you going?
It's affecting this whole area all the way down through here, up through Georgia, up through Indiana, some kind of a heat thing.
Yeah.
They're saying that almost all of this area, all the way up into Chicago and stuff, is going to see triple digits.
Wow. Well, get ready. Yeah, and there are some that have metal roofs, like Jerry said, up around the Lake Sumter Landing area. It's in that area, Caroline. That area is called Caroline by the Lake. And I said, that's the only area in Caroline that they have them. I heard that they're thinking about allowing metal roofs in other places, but I don't know if that's a fact yet or not. But in that area there, when those houses were built, they allowed them to have metal roofs, and it's beautiful. We love it. You know, wish we could have afforded it at the time. We would have been.
Well, that area that looks like Key West back there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was even there.
Yeah, it's called Caroline by the Lake.
Yeah.
And it's different.
Kind of a hidden community, and as soon as you drive into it, you notice the difference right away.
Oh yeah.
And if I could have afforded it back then, I would have bought back there, and I'd probably still be there today. I wouldn't worry about moving. But anyway, houses back there are pricey. it's kind of an exclusive neighborhood. It is and it ain't. I mean, everybody can go in there that's a resident here or whatever, but it's going to be pricey to be back there. There's also another neighborhood. It's the original neighborhood that Harold Schwartz and his family actually built for the family. It used to be the compound. I can't think of the name of the neighborhood. Your key card, your gate card, because I tried to get in there once just to see what it looked like in there. Your gate card won't work. It's a special gate card only for that neighborhood to get in. And they don't have the little gates like we have out here to get in, the little gate that goes up, not a gate, but a bar that goes up and down. These are metal steel gates, and the whole thing slides back to get in there.
Yeah. No, I don't know. They've had the stuff in the compound for sale, so that may not be the case anymore. But because they were moving out of all that, they moved.
Well, I don't know either, but I just know it's an exclusive neighborhood, so I'm guessing the gates do have a special card.
Okay, probably. But like I said, I know they had some for sale in there.
Well, no, the family don't live there anymore. This is back when it was a family compound, and not just a family compound, but that's where there's 3 properties back there, and I've seen pictures of them where. I know Harold lived in the old section, but I don't know who it was, his boy or whoever. There's a property here, big yard, nobody behind them, so I don't know what's back there. Over here's another property sits at an angle, and the yard's connected. And then over here's another house sits at an angle, yard's connected. It makes it like a baseball field there, and that's where they were at.
Yeah, it was a compound. Yeah, let's see, I lost you. Kay Lang says, we like Skip's opinion and comments. Were you ever a district supervisor or ever considered it?
Who?
Want to know if you was ever a district supervisor or even considered it.
I did consider it. The thing is, you can't be a supervisor, I don't think, unless you live in that district. And some of the district supervisors that opened up here when I was a gate guard, I talked to JJ. At that time, JJ was the manager for all the gate guards and home watch for this whole area about it. And JJ said, well, when one opens up, he said, just throw your hat in the ring. He said, what's the worst could happen? And that's true. But I found out later through Sharon, my original supervisor, that I think she said, and these rules may have changed since then. I'm going back probably 10 years ago that I was a gate guard. That you had to live in the district in which you represented. So I couldn't take those jobs because it wasn't my district. At that time, I lived here? Or did I live in Caroline when I was a gate guard? I lived here.
You lived here.
Here, yeah. So these gate guards were open like for District 8, which I think is Caroline. I lived in District 10.
Yeah.
It goes on. What is it about dogs and FedEx trucks and UPS trucks?
Yeah.
We never taught this dog anything. But when it comes to FedEx and UPS, he can be in the house and he'll hear that UPS truck coming down the road.
And Rizzo's dog's the same way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the noise or what. Now, the Amazon truck, they're electric. So he still barks, but it's not a big thing. I mean, he doesn't go nuts like he does for UPS and FedEx. But Popeye said, at least he's better than Linda and Jerry. They make it sound like TV is better than heaven. Well, honey, Jerry and Linda are good at what they do. But we don't do the same things. We're here for information. We give you information. We're not trying to sell you anything.
We don't sell houses.
Yeah, we don't sell houses.
I was the very first full-time YouTuber here. The rest of them, as far as I'm concerned, are come-along laters. And I had to figure out what it was you wanted to see. Sue and I had talked about it. When I decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I have no idea what I was doing. And I said, what do you think we ought to put on there to get people information that they need? She said, just think about what it was we didn't know. And that's what we want to talk about. So I did. That's what I started doing, talking about houses, where they're at, the location, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. I never had an agenda. I don't sell houses. I'm just giving you guys the information to help you along. That's all. And
we go by the questions that you ask.
Yeah, and we go by the comments, and we go by that tells us what it is that you need to see. If I start getting a lot of comments about a specific thing, then I need to focus on that. And anyway, we had to figure it out. we would see how many comments we got. We would see how many thumbs up we got on a video, see how many views we got. One video we put up would get 500 views. The next video we put up would be a whole different subject, but that one would have in 24 hours 1,500 views. That.
Yeah.
We got to concentrate on. And so one of them was home tours. We just done that one day. It was an open house. I walked in there with my cell phone, I think, and we tried to do a home tour, which is tough when you got a house full of people walking around talking.
Yeah.
And we did that, and we got a lot of views, so we started doing that. So anyway, once we started figuring out what it was that you guys wanted to see and what you really needed to see, well, we just started doing that. And then, as far as I'm concerned, take it for what it's worth, everybody else, after we figured out what to do, they say, hey,
okay. I know. All right. I know that's annoying, but yeah, it is what it is.
I just don't understand. I don't understand what it is about that UPS truck that he doesn't like.
And GJ wants recommendation for lanai enclosure. And then we've always recommended custom windows.
Custom windows.
And
because you know, they sponsor our channel a lot. And they have a lot. They've came to the house and provided us with entertainment at Christmas time once.
Yeah, they're wonderful people to deal with.
They take care of us because we help take care of them. I never asked for any of that. They just started doing it.
Yeah, and they take care of. They did our lanai and several of our subscribers, and they've been good to us. So we always recommend
they took care of Linda's house. I'm not saying they're the cheapest at all, but they're good. And they're been around for a long time. They also have an office you can walk into if you need to talk to somebody, and a showroom. I don't like doing business out of the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah,
those guys disappear every day. But yeah, they do a pretty good job. Now it's a little deal worked out that if you go in and tell them that you're interested in this lanai thing, whatever it is, because they got 100 different ways of doing it. I can't explain all of them to you, but they can. The way I did it was sealing the floor. You don't have to do that. My patio villa I had was not sealing the floor. They built up the bottom half, I'll say 2 foot off the ground, about this high right here. They put this part here in, and then my sliding windows were in here. And you could open up the lanai that way. And it worked out really well. I didn't have a problem with it at all. This one, we decided to go sealing the floor. I don't really know why. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. And so that's what we did. Yeah. But I'll tell you, this is just a little hint. If I had it to do over again, I think I would have done that. I think I would have had them built me a little wall like this, up about 2 foot or so, and then put the sliding windows here, open up the lanai. And I'll tell you why. Because down here, I could make a little hole, frame it in, and I could put a window air conditioner down here so the back of it is sticking out back there on the lanai, and the water would drip out here on the porch, and it's 110, and I could air condition my whole lanai for less than $300.
Oh my God.
I don't see anything stupid about that.
Well, you know.
The new air conditioner it's got a remote. You can set the temperature.
I know you've talked about doing that in the RV too. I don't want something that.
I've already checked the RV out. I can't because there's stuff in the way.
Well, I don't want it rednecky. You spend a lot of money.
Why not? We're rednecks. Ask anybody. We're from Indiana. They all say we have a hillbilly voice.
Well, I don't care about that.
We have a hillbilly accent, especially you.
Yeah. I come from the South Anderson.
Well, let's talk to Judy about that. She says she's not from Alabama, but we all know she is.
Oh, Laura says thanks to Craig for answering her Medicare questions. I sent you another email this morning with a few more questions. Yes, Craig is so good about that. I mean, he explains things very good, and we've had a lot of people that went to him that didn't know what they were going to do. So yeah, if you have a Medicare question, Craig's the guy to go to.
Yeah, Craig's the guy.
Yeah.
Problem is, right now would be a good time to really make an appointment if you need him to come to you and talk to you about whatever. Medicare, Social Security, insurance. He knows all that stuff because he's not busy.
In October.
But don't wait till like September or 1st of October. That's when I guess it's called a signing in period or something.
Yeah.
And when people come down in the wintertime, he's swamped. I mean, so if you want to talk to him, right now is a good time to do it.
Urban Interface Living says, are the numbers going down with new arrivals or people moving out?
We don't know. Nobody keeps track of those numbers. I mean, you're watching clickbait once again. Some of these people down here on YouTube that have clickbait, that's one of them. People are moving out of the villages by the thousands. And that'll be the title of their video. So everybody's got to go watch it. And then when you actually watch the video, that's all BS. There's no such thing as any. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how many people are actually moving out. Nobody knows
And
exactly.
the Villages puts out a quarterly paper that tells how many houses has been sold.
Yeah, that's what they can tell you. How many houses have been sold?
Yeah.
How many pre-owned houses have been sold? But here's what I say. You shouldn't worry about that at all, because whatever houses are here, whether they're for sale or not for sale, they're here forever. They're never going anywhere. So there's always going to be somebody occupying that house.
And the bad part is, we aren't. We're not going to be here forever. So there's a house empty somewhere, usually all the time.
Well, but I'm getting at, even if you die, somebody's going to buy this house and move in.
Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody in this house.
And
so the
thank you,
population
Jerry.
size here never changes.
Jerry put up Craig's information, contact information. Thank you, Jerry. Brad Say says, Yoga Berry once said, make sure you go to all of your friends' funerals if you want them to come to yours.
Huh?
Make sure you go to all your friends' funerals if you want them to come to yours. Think about that. I said, yeah, I've never heard of that, but that's something to think about. Oh, Vic. Hey, Vic, haven't seen you in a long time. He said, hi, y'all, been a long time. Hi, Skip and Sue. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen you.
Who's that?
Vic Madeira.
I think his wife had surgery again.
Okay.
He sent me an email here a long time ago. I try not to talk about personal stuff. It's none of my business. I never know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say.
Okay.
So I usually just say it, whether it's wrong or right. But anyway, I think he said his wife had to have another surgery for something, I forget, with a knee. She's been having trouble with it. And so he's been taking care of her because she can't walk, stuff. So
well,
we understand, Vic. I went through that same problem with Sue, and I think it went along a lot longer than what it should have went on. I think somebody was just sucking up all the stuff she could get for free. Hey, you get me something to eat? I can't. My knee hurts. I can't get it.
Are you kidding?
Can you come and push me out to the kitchen so I can make something to eat? And then I had the question like, how are you going to make something to eat in a damn wheelchair? So guess who's making something to eat? Moi. This is how it goes on.
Well, one time in 50 years, you got to.
One time? You were in this wheelchair for 2 months.
Yeah, out of 50-some years? Yeah, I think you deserved it.
The wheelchair? I deserved the wheelchair?
No, you deserve to have to cook.
I did. I called, who did I call? They came to the house all the time with bags. I made Thanksgiving dinner. I remember that.
Bob Evans.
I called Bob Evans. I delivered to that.
Yeah. Gracie says, I have 2 houses in Virginia with 50-year shingles and 10-year labor warranty. Well, Virginia and Florida. I'm just telling you what the roofer told us.
Get it here. There's no such thing as labor warranty. That's where it's going to get you. They'll provide you the shingles for nothing. How do I know? I just went through this with factory defects. And they sent me a letter back saying, we'll be more than glad to replace those shingles because they sent a factory representative here. He climbed on the roof and took pictures. And he went and showed me what the factory defects were. And he showed me around the neighborhood here, all of them that are factory defects and what to look for. And so I made that video so other people would know. And they told me, no problem at all. We'll send you completely enough shingles to replace the whole roof. But you have to pay for the labor to replace them.
Yeah, and not just the shingles. You've got your underlayment they lay down, and
they tear it all off. Yeah. They won't tear just a shingle off. They got to take it all off down to the wood, check all the wood out. Ours was fine, which I expected it would be.
Yeah.
What do you call it? That edge that goes around when the gutters. There's a little 90-degree edging that goes around the house on it, so the shingles actually hangs over the frame of the house a little bit, so it drifts directly into the. Anyway, whatever that strip is called, they replaced all that. They have to. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I even thought about calling Stipes and have him come over and inspect my gutters to make sure everything's okay. But we had a hell of a rain. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I was over at the camper. I mean, it really poured over there.
That was Sunday, Emily.
Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
And so nothing was leaking, so I guess we're good.
Yeah. Alfonso Smith says, I'm a bird lover. Can you have bird feeders in your backyard?
Technically, no. Florida law says no feeding of any wild animal, period. But let me just say, that if I had some hummingbird feeders, I'd probably find some place to hang them.
Yeah.
You kind of put them in a bush, put them in a backyard where they can't see it from the street, that kind of thing. People do it all the time.
Okay, Kyle Reed says Glenview on 466. I'm not sure what that's about. But
What?
it's a Glenview on 466.
What about it?
I don't know. I must have missed a thing here somewhere.
Probably talking to somebody and he's answering a question.
And Jerry's saying, yes, Alfonso, as long as you don't mind rats and snakes feeding also. That's one of the reasons we don't have a lot of them, even though, we could hide them in the backyard.
That's why we don't have fruit trees.
Yeah.
Fruit trees, people think it's always nice to have a lemon tree in the backyard or an orange tree in the backyard. Well, if you're going to take care of it, that's fine. But we've rented houses. We've been in other neighborhoods where we've seen these fruit trees after they've been there for 20 years. And there's dead, rotting fruit on the ground, and that attracts mice and rats. We do have what they call a sea rat or some kind of a rat. It's a pretty good sized rat. I've seen them around here. Mm-hmm. And they go to this rotten fruit and stuff to feed off of it. Well, what do rats attract? Snakes that come along and eat the rats and the mice. So we don't have that.
Vicki Jones says it's so true. Our dogs bark at no other vehicles, but let those FedEx or UPS trucks go by and they lose their minds. Yeah, I don't know why.
That's what I don't understand. What is it about those trucks?
Is it just because they're loud? I don't know.
think it's any louder than anything else that's went through here.
William wants to know what neighborhood is the one with all the retired Playboy bunnies in it.
What's that?
Wants to know what's the neighborhood with all the retired Playboy bunnies in it. I would say that's probably one of the more expensive areas.
Oh, is he talking about Hooters over there? Well, Hooters is in a shopping plaza. It's not in a shopping plaza is golf cart accessible. So thus they always say in the villages, and it's technically not in the villages, even though I think the developer owned that land and he sold it to other places. But it's just golf cart accessible. And everybody was talking about, well, where's these girls going to come from? Blah, blah, blah. They're not part of our district rules. These businesses over there. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Oh, and Vic, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to talk about that at the end of the show here. We are doing a cruise in February of 2026. It'll be February 7th to the 14th. And hopefully we'll have Jim and Donna Kruger on maybe next week to explain all the ins and outs of it. But yeah, it's one of those things that, we done once and didn't think we'd do another one, but we were convinced. So y'all can go with us. And like I said, when Jim and Donna Kruger are taking care of everything, it's with Celebrity Apex is the name of the ship. And it starts out in Key West, a day in Key West. And I've always wanted to wander around Key West. We've been there, but
How am I supposed to get to Key West to get on a boat?
No, the boat goes to Key West.
Where's the boat start from?
It's in the paperwork. I don't have it right with me, but I think it's probably same one we went to last time.
No, last time we was there to Miami.
Well, I think
they got a lot of boat ships that leave Tampa. They have a lot of ships that leave. It's just wherever they pay the dock.
Yeah, well, it's on the paperwork. I don't have it.
That's to me, that is the hardest part about traveling with boats or planes. I hate it. I just hate it. To get on the boat, it's a process. You just don't walk on a boat. It's a process. And to get on the plane, everybody knows it's a process. And the process is getting worse every year. That some stupid.
But now, once you've done it, you're okay with it.
Flying.
Yeah, because
I'm talking about the process to get on the plane.
I know.
Or to get on the boat.
But
how many times did I have to show my ID and passport to get on that last boat? How many times?
And
three times.
To most people, that's not a big deal.
Well, most people just have patience. I don't.
Well, I know. We all know that. But yeah, Vic, I said, hopefully we'll have Jim and Donna on here next week. And
well, if you do, that's something you set up. I didn't know anything about it.
Well, I haven't yet, but I will.
Well, if you do, you're going to be out here alone because I'm not coming out here to interview. It's too hard to do it this way.
Okay.
You need to pick it some other day or some other way. Like on the lanai where that won't freeze up.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, but like I said, they'll be able to give us more information.
I can be in the kitchen. I'll make cookies.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we are going to do the cruise, so.
Maybe. We don't know yet.
Yes, we are. We're committed.
We don't know yet. They have to sell so many tickets.
Lester says that edge going around the house by the gutter is called a flashing, something like that.
Huh?
Is the edge going around the house called a flashing?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called, the flashing.
Let's see. Oh, and yes, and Laura says, Vic, we hope your wife heals quickly. Yes, hopefully that will not be an issue for long.
What?
Vic's wife being under the weather, so.
Well, he's on here, so she must be doing better.
Jerry Bell says drip edge. So flashing, drip edge.
I think it's called the flashing is actually what it's called. But it is a drip edge, yes. They're both right.
Vic says Laura L. surgery was on January 30th. Still not even 50% back to normal yet, but it's getting better. Thanks. Good. Well, we hope she continues getting well.
I always find it, you really got to make people feel bad, I think. Or I feel bad for them. I don't know. Somebody moves to a place like the Villages, buys a really nice home, get it all redecorated, painted, and all that stuff you got to go through. Then all of a sudden, something hits them. Knee surgery, back surgery, neck surgery, heart attacks, all these kinds of things to where they can't enjoy the things around here that they come here to enjoy.
Well, it happens, Vic Madeira says, I love Hooters food, but the wings were very skimpy.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by skimpy because I'm just the opposite of that. Most of the wings that you buy in a grocery store are old egg layers. That's what they are. They're in cages, and that's all they do their whole life is they eat, drink, poop, and lay eggs. That's what they do. And after they get to be so old, they take these cages, they put them on the back of a semi-truck. We've seen them going down the highway. Half the chickens don't have half their feathers because they've lived in these little coopy cages their whole life. Some of them can't even stand up because they've always been laying down. And talking about animal cruelty, I think that's animal cruelty. But anyway, those are old egg layers, and their wings are fat and fatty. I don't care for them. I care for what you might call skimpy wings. They just have a better texture, better flavor. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
And see, as normal, we're opposite on that. I don't want to eat bones. I want the ones.
I'm not eating bones. I've just noted different. It's a textural thing. Like you can get a steak medium or medium rare. There's a definite texture difference between the two. But if you get medium well, like I do, and they bring you something medium rare, it just turns your stomach.
Well, like everybody's different. So, Barbara says, "Love Key West. Keep us posted." Will do, Barbara. And I said, we've been to Key West, but we had the dog with us, and we really couldn't visit many of the sites. And I know I want to see Hemingway's home. I've always wanted to. And they've got a museum there that I've wanted to see. So there's a lot of things there in Key West itself. But that's not the only place it's going. That's
I want to go visit the grave of that doctor down there that stole her body.
Oh, is that in Key West?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Crazy doctor.
Well, we'll have to find out about it. So.
Yeah. I'm sure they got his house open. Go in there.
Oh, and
he was a nut doctor.
The family man says the boat leaves from Port Canaveral. Okay.
That's over by on the East Coast, not too far from Jacksonville, right? South of Jacksonville.
Yep.
Now what?
Carol says that. Let's see. She said, I'm going to Key West in 2 weeks for my birthday. That'd be cool, Carol. Susan Ray Norton says there a link for the cruise to make a reservation. Susan, we don't have one right yet. I'll make sure we get one up. It's on, if you're on Discord, if you're Patreon, I think it is on Discord. But on the regular YouTube channel, I don't think they have one yet. But we'll see about getting that up.
I keep telling everybody, all the action is on my Patreon and Discord page. We announce things on there, or do things on there that if you're on just YouTube, you guys aren't even going to hear about it. Yeah. So you really need to join Patreon for $2. Or join, you can join YouTube. I guess we post it on there too. They're members there. But it starts at $5. So, money's tight, $2 Patreon, and you get everything. Discord, invites, stuff.
And Vic says the cruise lines let you submit documents ahead of time to smooth that onboarding process. I know it's been a few years since we've done it, so I know it's probably.
How come I can't hire somebody for $50 to do all this for me?
Oh God! Oh well. Let's see. Let's see.
Then hire a limo,
Karen says
or an Uber to take me to the boat.
Okay.
Otherwise, you take your car over there, you got to find some place to park it for a week.
And a lot of times they have a cruise express here. I don't know, if it's just for a particular boat or something, because it's new. And I said you can ride the bus, though you don't have to worry about it. And I will check on that beforehand. And yeah, and Port Canaveral, we haven't been to Port Canaveral. No, so that'll be different. Now, last time we went down and got a room the night before, just to make we weren't real sure where we were going, and so that's the way we did it. But like I said, I'm pretty much sure that there's a Cruise Express, a bus that'll take you to the different places, and I'm not sure if it's available for that one. I'll check on it and find out. And Laura says Key West is a lot of fun and historical. It is, and there's so many things that I want to see there. And like I said, we had the dog with us at the time, and it was just too hot. You couldn't leave him in the car. There was no place to board him at the time. We had to actually stay on Marathon. We stayed on a different key.
We stayed at a place that had beach cabins, I'll call them, but they weren't cabins, but they were anyway. And it just so happens that the people that owned that were from Lafayette, Indiana. And we were talking to them. And that was the only place between Largo. It was Key Largo. That's where that was at.
Okay.
Nice island. We enjoyed it there. But between there and Key West, she told us, she said, nobody will accept pets.
Yeah.
All the way down.
And I said, so we had a problem. I understand that they're a little bit more lenient now from people that live down there. Is what I've been hearing. So it might not be an issue now, but when we were there, it was. And like I said, we wasn't leaving the baby in the car. And so there was not a lot of places that you could take them. We went to the buoy that they have out that says that the farthest point or whatever, that was being painted. So we didn't even, we got a picture there. Nobody could tell where it was because it was taped up. So that's why we'd like to go when we can actually, and I think we have a whole day there. The whole day there because that's the first stop. And so, yeah, I want to do some sightseeing. I got a lot of things on the agenda. And Julie wants to know how we're doing. We're doing pretty good, Julie. We're still kind of wore out from the trip. I said after coming back from the north and then turn around and going back, it was not something we do a lot of. So we're still a little bit worn out. So.
Yeah, I think we talked about that with somebody in the RV channel. Want to know how was it going straight north out of? Listen, if you travel a lot, Florida's not a good place to live. I'm telling you, because everything is far away. Nothing is close to Florida.
Yeah.
Where if you live like say in Kansas City, look where it's at. You're in the middle of the country, and everywhere is that way or that way. Down here, there's nothing close to us except Cuba. So it ain't a good place to RV from.
Joey Anderson has a question. Says, are Parkinson's cases on the rise in the villages? An article in JAMA Network shows an increase in cases where residents live within a mile of a golf course.
Well, I don't know.
The written word is one of those things where you got to be really skeptical.
I think that's more like clickbait. Get somebody to click on their channel to read bullshit information. But I'm thinking what you probably find out, a lot of people move here at an age when Parkinson's shows up.
Yeah.
And so they're here. They've already got it. Like, I don't know anything about it. I'm not a doctor. But I just think that's just a quinky dinky that happens to be here. Or a lot of people that have Parkinson's decided, hey, look, if we're going to enjoy it. We had a neighbor up in Harper City. Remember, he did square dance calls. I can't think of his or her name. Yeah. But anyway, they were in their 70s, lived in Harper City, nice people. And he calls square dances. And his wife, I remember right, her big thing was walking. She liked to walk a lot.
Yeah.
And so one of them got sick or something. And then we were talking to him, standing out in the street talking. That's what Indiana people do. We stand out in the street and we talk.
And eat.
So they're out there talking or whatever, and he said something to the fact, he said, well, we're getting older. He said, so if we're going to enjoy anything down there, he said, we better get down there. And so they came down, they bought a park model down at, what was the name of that town down there? Down at, give them the W.
I can't remember now.
Anyway, I'm sure the town now is built up. They had a Walmart even back then. But he called square dances and stuff, and he used to go to name of that town over there on the West Coast. We've been through it, but it looked like a really nice town.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's where he went a lot, was to call stuff over there. And the last time we saw them, they looked like they were having a great time down here in the wintertime. Went to a Christmas parade with them down there in their town. We spent the night at their little house. So, it's just an option in a place like that. You don't have to buy in the villages if you don't want to. You don't have to.
But as far as it being close to a golf course, I mean, there's like a million golf courses here. I really don't think that has much to do with it.
No, he just wanted to be able to call dances.
And like I said, if you're saying that Gemma said that, I would be skeptical, but I'd look and see what their research was from. Because when we have this many golf courses around us, something's going to be blamed on what they put on the grass, of course. But yeah, I think Skip's right. The biggest share of the people that have it here come here with it because of the age range.
And they do have a lot of therapy places here. I don't know anything about them. I don't know if anything's better than the others. Sue went to therapy too. But so that might be another reason why they're here. Maybe they're here from my area of the country. They don't have that many specialty therapies, and like I say, I don't know anything about them, but they have the reasons for being here. If Parkinson's is on the uprise here, it ain't because of the villages, it ain't because of the golf courses or any of that kind of stuff. It's probably because they already had it when they came here.
Yeah.
At that age.
But yeah, I had not heard that before, and Gemma's usually pretty. They're pretty good about their research, so I don't know. But yeah, we've not seen that case. Most of the people that we know that's had it, and they have a Parkinson's club here, and like I said, they do special things for Parkinson's. They have I think they have a volleyball team, believe it or not, they do, and it's to keep them moving.
Well, they have an amputee club. I did a report on it. I think it'll be up this Friday. I think I mentioned it in there, where they're having ping pong matches of an amputee club. But they do a lot of things at the amputee club, like swim. So I don't know how they do that. I think they go to the sports pools. They reserve an area of their sports pool. They have people over there. Like if you don't have both your legs, they have equipment over there to help you learn how to swim. They have all kinds of stuff like that. So the handicapped people here have a lot of things to do. Is it perfect? Probably not. I've seen another report where a guy was going to file a lawsuit on some part of the villages because he didn't have a ramp on a sidewalk by his house where he could take his electric wheelchair and cross the road or something.
That's surprising because most everything around here.
You go into the shopping centers, right in front of the entrance doors. This is the first place I ever seen it. I think Indiana and the rest of them all really think about it. But anyway, the sidewalk itself comes down flush with the parking lot. There is no curb there. And I'm finding in the newer areas of villages, they're all built like that. And now I think even the newer swimming pools, well, they call them infinity pools, were same thing. You can just walk into the pool. There's no curb. There's no jumping. And I think that's put there, my guess would be, is for like wheelchairs.
And most of them have the seat where if you're disabled that will go into the water.
I took it. It's a nice little ride.
Yeah. Yeah, Skip checked it out.
I did. Yeah. I should have videoed it, but I didn't.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, and Barbara's still having trouble getting on Discord, and Race Girl told her to download the Discord app first.
Yeah, everybody's telling me that, and I can't see your side of it, and I'm not intelligent enough to know exactly what's on your side. I know what's on my computer when I go on it. And everybody's telling me that to download the Discord app first. It makes it easier. And the second thing you need to know is when I send you a link, that link's only good for 7 days from the day I send it. Now, I have nothing to do with that. That's a Discord thing. After 7 days, it automatically expires. So it ain't going to work anymore. So you have to ask for another link, and I'll send it to you. And I repeat this over and over on different videos. So that tells me you're not watching my videos, or you would know this. And if you need another link, hey, just ask me. It's no big deal. I'll send you another link. But remember, the day I send it, 7 days later, it's going to disappear.
Now, Vic says, Parkinson's is why we moved here. I wanted a place where Laura could do all her hobbies and have a circle of friends her age before her symptoms got bad. Yes, and that, I think that's why a lot of people do. Also, the medical part of it. And I said, the clubs, I just, that they have a fight club. And I said, they have the water volleyball, which kind of blew my mind. But it's to keep them moving.
I played water volleyball. I liked it.
Yeah, but I mean, for somebody that's disabled, like I said, it keeps them moving. That's the idea.
You mean water volleyball for disabled people? I think it depends on your disability and what it is.
Well, we're talking about Parkinson's, and like I said,
well, the thing is that the water helps make your body lighter. And so things that may be hard for you on normal land is a little bit easier for you in the water. They had an exercise club here up at Buffalo, up by Spanish Springs there. It looks like the hotel pool, and it's not. It's the village's pool. They call Buffalo something something, and they exercise in that water. And it's basically people that have what do you call it, movability, whatever, motion problems. They can't bend this way or that way, or they got bad hips, or they're way overweight and bad on the knees. They do it exercises in that pool because it makes it easier.
And then that's one thing with Parkinson's. There's not a there's not a definitive time as to when you're going to get worse. So you want to keep moving as long as possible. And I said that could be years for a lot of people. So yeah, I'm glad that they have all that stuff that's available. And he said there's a very active Parkinson's club. Some of the best Parkinson's hospitals are at the Fixel Institute at University of Florida in Gainesville. Yes, very, very good hospital. Racer Girl says, Darrison, I hardly ever see you. I see him a lot. I think it depends on when you're on, Racer Girl. Somewhere in the Sun says, I just saw a map of Parkinson's belts. It's Midwest, where many villagers come from, so makes some sense. Yeah, well, you get all kinds of, like I said, when it's the written word, you just got to be very skeptical because you don't know who it's coming from and what their agenda is. And I hate to be that way, but that's the way the world is nowadays.
Well, just take this for what it's worth. All of this, what we're telling you, are things that we've seen, we know, but then a lot of this, like the Parkinson things, it's just our personal opinion.
Yeah. I
am not a medical expert at all. Don't go to some other channel and say, well, Skip said. I didn't say. I'm just telling you how we see it. For being here, I think it's because of their age, and it just happens to be that the average age throughout the villages is elderly.
Mm-hmm. And so somewhere in the Sun says, plus the villages from a design perspective is very accessible. Yes.
Yes, everything here is accessible. I'm sure there's a few things over the years that's kind of escaped them, like the curb up north. And then when you go down south, they don't really have a curb anymore. Wherever an entrance is, or the sidewalk usually goes right down flush. So you can just wheel a wheelchair right up in there. I just think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Wrestler says, last time we tried a cruise, it was an old carnival ship. The HHC's parents invited us along. With our 2 young kids, HHC was seasick the entire time, even with medicine.
Well, see, if she'd eat meat, she'd get a little bit more of that protein in her stomach, and she'd be more manly.
Yeah, and I said, I don't think that has anything to do with it, but the ships are different. They're coming out with new ones all the time. The last one we was on was a first time thing for it. It was so large, and I got to tell you, pay attention where your rooms are too. That makes a difference. But the only time I felt movement, the whole time we were out, was when I was sitting on the toilet. That sounds dumb, but that was the only time I felt the movement. Of course, we didn't have bad seas or anything like that, and I know that does happen. But yeah, they upgrade these things all the time. They get bigger, they get better. Like I said, I think the Celebrity Apex, was 2022. I think it's when it came out. So it's not an old ship, but it's not brand new either. And I've heard it's a little bit different itinerary than what you do on the ship that we were on. It's still part of the Royal Caribbean team, the Celebrity group, but just a little bit different.
What ship is it?
Apex, Celebrity Apex.
Never heard of it.
Well, we've never done Celebrity before.
I've only done one in my
Yeah.
whole life.
And that was a Royal Caribbean. And I said, this is a celebrity.
One thing else about Royal Caribbean cruise lines, just from the one that I've been on, is they seem to have their shit together. I mean, everything was done in stages, everything. The thing is I didn't expect anything because I didn't know. You get there, there's this parking lot where you can park your car and leave it there until you get back. But you show up, you get out of the car, you hand them the key, and somebody took our luggage out of the car. And this is how quick it happened. They get our luggage out of the car, sitting over there by this little building where everybody was sitting, waiting for the bus to take you over to the boat, and the car just disappeared. Who took the car? I don't know. Where's it at? They took it back there. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So then they loaded our luggage up on this bus. We get on the bus. I get off the bus, and I'm thinking I got to get my luggage to go inside for some reason. What are you doing?
I'm going to unfasten Buddy before he pulls this
Oh,
off.
just leave him alone. He ain't going to knock nothing off. It weighs too much.
All right.
So we get off the bus, and I'm standing there, and there was a guy standing there, and with the uniform on from the company, and I said, "Where's my luggage?" "Oh, he gone." He talks in a foreign language, kind of like, it gone. They took it. Who took it? They took it. So I guess I just assumed it was where it's supposed to be. So we go inside. We followed the group. We're going inside. That opened up into like the biggest gymnasium you ever saw in your life, with just 1,001 seats in there. And we're just sitting down. But seemed to me you had to sit on a row that was a letter of your last name. So we're sitting on the S row, I think. We're sitting there. Then they started calling these rows up to go over to the first passport check, your ID. And so they called our row, and we go over there. And you got to have your driver's license out, which I did. And he handed it to him. And she looks at me and says, "Take your hat off." You got to take it off. They take your license, they hold it up next to your head. Like somehow that identifies you. And then he say, "Okay, you go." And you put your hat back on. I put my license back in the billfold, and I just walk on, and we go, I don't know how far in, to another one of them little stands right there. She wants to see your driver's license and your passport. It didn't really need a passport. No, it's your driver's license. So I pull my billfold out, get the license out again, give it to her, take your hat off. And she did the same thing. So I'm thinking, I'm done now, right? And she said, "Yeah, you're done. You go." So I'm following the rest of the group. We go around up this ramp. Now I see the boat right there. As we're going up this ramp, the boat's parked right there. So we get up to the end, right where we turn right to go on, I guess they call it the plank that takes you actually on the ship, right there. They stop, driver's license. I said, "How many times are you going to ask me for my driver's license? I mean, I haven't changed anything from the first time. My face is the same. It hasn't changed a bit." And she says, "Driver's license." So I give it to her. Same thing. I said, "Here, let me take the hat off." Take the hat off. Get on. So I said, "How many more of these am I got to go through?" She said, "This is the last one." I said, "Okay." So I get on. Then, after you get on, they explain to you, you have to be here for the muster drill. What?
Yeah. No, somebody that's familiar with ships and all
I was not.
would know not to put your license back until they were done.
But they don't tell you how many times you got to do this.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you've never done it before, these are all the things you're going to come up to. You don't know what to do. And they talk about a mustard drill. I didn't even know what a mustard drill was. As far as I knew, we was going to have hot dogs with mustard on them. I didn't know. And they said, "You have to come to the mustard drill." And I said, "Well, what if I don't? What if I just go to my room and say, 'No, you got to go to the mustard drill or they'll come and get you'?" Gee, God. So we do all that. Finally, we get this done and over and everything. And then the people we were with said, "Hey, we're all meeting up at the whatever buffet." They call it, had a name. I don't know what it's called up there. And I said, "Oh, okay. Where is that?" "Oh, it's up on the 15th floor, 15th deck. 15th deck." I'm looking at 15 stories tall. Jesus, how tall is this boat? We didn't know. We're on a boat, and you lose perspective where you're at because you see the ceiling, walls. You don't know exactly where you're at. So we go up there to get a bite to eat, and I will say, out of all the cruise that we did on that boat, there's two things that I really liked about it. One was the experience of doing the longest zip line across the body of water they said in the world. I don't know if that's true. That was kind of interesting. And then the other one was food. Man, everybody's right. They said you'll gain 10 pounds. I don't doubt that a bit. The food was fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Paul Davis says, greetings from Sharps Chapel, Tennessee. Hot and humid here. I grew just south of you in Polk County. I've seen many Parkinson's
Ain't
cases
that
in
where
Florida
the
over my years
home
of living.
of Sheriff Judd Grady is at? Polk County? I think so. That's my favorite sheriff down here.
I don't know.
Here's a little quick story about Judd. He's been interviewed by Rogan. The guy Rogan has a YouTube channel, news guy, Rogan. Anyway, Rogan interviewing him. Asked him, says, is it true that I read in the story about you that you guys shot a guy 65 times? And he goes, yes, sir, we did. He goes, why 65 times? He goes, because we run out of bullets.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Florida is putting out the word. I mean, slowly but surely. Hopefully the people that come here know a little bit about the laws around here, because they're changing them for whatever reasons, political reasons, I don't know. But I can just say this: if you're a crook, if you're a smuggler, if you do any of that serious stuff, or you could sell drugs, a cartel member of some kind, M3 or whatever, Florida's putting it out there that if you come down here, expect trouble. They're not going to deal with it. This ain't New York City. They're not going to deal with it. So just beware. And you know what they catch most of these crooks by? I swear to you, it's the dumbest thing in the world. They got to have probable cause. They're getting almost everybody down here because they don't have a license plate light on the back of the car. I swear to you, they put where did their license plate light on the back of the car? The law says you got to have that. So they pull them over and find out this guy's got this and that and everything else. So hey, if you're a no good, rotten criminal, make sure the license plate light on your car works.
Racer Girl says, do they have a mental midget club for us slow thinkers?
I am going to start one.
Yeah, Skip will be the first in line. Wrestler says, also one of the propellers supposedly was dented and made the boat have a thumping sound. Didn't help people who had seasickness. No, it wouldn't me either. That would have scared me.
I wouldn't like being on a boat have a thumping sound 24 hours a day. Good Lord.
No, that the propeller was dented. That would scare me.
Well, they won't tell you that at the time, I don't think, but that thumping noise would drive me nuts. Okay,
Caveman 770 says, rumor has it that the villagers canceled the leprosy poker club because they kept throwing their hands in. Okay. Caveman, you and William, I'm telling you, you guys keep me laughing all the time. So, Wrestler says, not sure I can ever talk healthy home cooking into an ocean cruise ever again, unless we went to chum the sea for all the sharks.
Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with having separate vacations. Sometimes I think it's better.
Yeah.
You go your way, let her go her way for 2 weeks. You'll meet in the middle when you get back.
Yeah. Vic says, time to walk the doggies. Everyone enjoy being in paradise and drink lots of liquids today. Be well, Skip and Sue. Well,
see you, Vic.
See you, Vic, and tell the wife we're just sitting here hoping that this gets over soon.
Well, from what I'm hearing, the heat wave hadn't got here yet. It's heading this way.
I was talking about his wife.
Oh.
Yeah, we hope she'll be well soon.
Get that.
Oh, okay.
It's Chewy.
There you go. Want your Chewy? There you go. Darrison says he has a point that people working the check-in are from that area. I get it. They are not as nice as the crew working on the ship.
Oh, the crew, we never have a problem with the crew at all.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the one guy I kept talking to, he was from Bangladesh or somewhere. And it seemed like 24 hours a day, he was always cleaning the hallway, the rails and stuff. That seemed like that was his full-time job, man, on this deck, cleaning the hallway.
Denise Slaverty says, hi, Sue and Skip, don't go on Carnival Cruise. My cousin said she couldn't get bacon the whole time she was cruising. They would be waiting every morning just for the bacon and eat it all, no more. Well, I don't think we're going to be on a Carnival. We're actually going to be on Celebrity, and it really wasn't in our wheelhouse to do another cruise, but we thought it might be fun if we could take a bunch of you with us. So that's why we're doing a new one, and it's on Celebrity. It's not on Carnival. So, and Darren agreed. Darrison agreed. Paul Davis said, yes, Grady was a neighbor in Lakeland. Yes, that story is true, Skip. I still remember that day clearly. He is a hoot. I mean, he tells it like it is, but yeah, some people just can't handle that.
Yeah, well, I'm testimony to that. People can't handle the truth.
Well, and he said, I lived in Lakeland until my parents divorced, then moved with my father to Grandmother Ranch. Okay.
Wait a minute. So what?
He lived in Lakeland with his parents until they divorced, and then he moved to Grandmother Ranch.
Grandmother Ranch.
Yes.
So grandmother must have had a ranch.
I
don't know.
You know, it might be.
Hey, if you got to grow up somewhere, growing up on a ranch ain't all bad.
That's true. Somewhere in the sense of lots of love for Florida law enforcement. Nice to have people to keep us safe and actually enforce the laws. All about law and order. And yes, that's something here that we appreciate our lawmen here.
All of them.
All of our first responders. And I said, and what they have to go through, put up with, because a lot of people down here are visitors. They don't live here. So if they know the rules, they don't necessarily abide by them. And I know they have to argue through a lot of things.
Like drinking and driving? Yeah. Well, that really don't apply to golf carts, right?
But yeah, we give them all the love we can because we know what they have to go through. So. Oh
crap! I just moved it.
Let's see.
Okay.
Jerry Bell says Betty isn't a fan of UPS drivers unless they have oatmeal cookies in their front pocket. That's true. Well, I haven't found any that had yet, but that had oatmeal cookies in their pocket. UPS drivers.
I don't know. I don't know when he started that.
I said Skip's the only UPS driver that liked oatmeal cookies. So. Oh, jeez. Hey, Ford guy, how you doing? I said, we're just sitting here taking it all in. We haven't had rain. I said, it's pretty cloudy, but not bad. And I said, it's pretty warm today. I don't know what the temperature is. Do you? You know what the temperature is?
It's in there. I don't know. If I took it yet. Wait a minute. Let me look at my phone.
Oh, you got a phone?
I think so. I don't know. It says it's 88 degrees right now. Thunderstorms likely to continue. Well, that's every afternoon. In case you don't know, every afternoon in the summer.
Yeah, this is Florida. This is the rainy season, so every afternoon. I wouldn't fly in between 1 and 4. You know, because I'd always take an early flight or a late flight because I always knew that sometime during the day, and it was usually in the afternoon when it heated up, when it gets really, really hot, that's when the storm seemed to roll in.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fly because I got stuck a couple times sitting, waiting for the plane to let you disembark because they're all union employees. They don't work in the lightning, and so they wouldn't take the luggage off. Sometimes they didn't let you out of the plane. They wouldn't even pull up to the tarmac if it was lightning out. So I always made a point of coming either early morning or late in the evening so I can get around that. Because one time I got stuck at the airport, and it was past, at that time, the villages had the only transfer here, and they didn't work after 10 o'clock. And so our plane was late getting in, and then there was another delay because of the weather, and they wouldn't take the baggage off. And so I was sitting in the airport like at midnight and had a heck of a time getting somebody to come get me. So that's why I don't do that anymore. And Skip loves the red eye, but not me.
It's because I worked third shift my whole life, and so the idea of going to the airport in the middle of the night where it's not near as busy, easy parking, easy traffic, my mind just says this is what we should be doing. You go in, when we go through Atlanta, good example, at 2 o'clock in the morning. You go to Atlanta at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like we seem like we're doing here lately. I swear to God, coming back from somewhere.
We hit every place at 5 o'clock.
Everywhere we went was 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Damn.
It was terrible.
And the road construction between here and Indiana. It seemed like every time we turned around, every 50 miles, we're coming to a stop because of road construction.
Yeah.
I never seen so many bridges being tore out in my life.
Rustlers are not sure if this is still a thing, but most ships used to have patterns to help you know which way you were walking. For example, fish designing carpets swimming towards front of ship. You know, it's something I never paid
I
attention to.
never thought about that. That might be true. I don't know.
Yeah, I never paid attention to that kind of thing.
I had a hard enough time trying to figure out the elevator. Remember, we get on the elevator and they talk to you, and there was no button to push.
Yeah.
And I forget what process was now, but yeah. And then
Jerry Bell says, Uncle Skip, tell us a story of driving a B double.
A what?
A B double.
A B double.
Your pups.
What is that? That's not a B. What the hell is a B double?
I don't know why you're calling that, but it's what you call
Jerry,
pups.
you're such an idiot.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear any of those stories.
I don't want to hear any of those stories. I've heard them a million times. Laura says, Skip and Sue, Porch Settin made it past the 90-minute mark. Yay!
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm working with what I've done. I got a rag. She got a bowl of ice down there, water and ice for the dog, really, and I'm dipping that rag into the buddy's bowl of water, and I'm draping it over, leaving the camera. If you'd see it, you'd laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm just seeing if it'll work. I got this fan going here to kind of keep the air moving, and see if it'd help. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. You do what you got to do. And Jerry says a B double is a tandem trailer. So what you call pups?
Now, tandem trailer is all semi-trailers except for we didn't have tandems on pups. There's no tandem. Am I lost here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He said tandem. Tandems is dual axle. That's what a tandem is.
So pups didn't dual axle?
No.
Okay.
They're single axle. Then you have a dolly in between the hook on the second pup, and it's also single axle. The tractor that we had, it's single axle also. UPS is smart about this.
Okay.
Because you're only allowed to have so many axles.
Okay, you're getting into techno. I think he just meant.
I know. Whenever that truck driver start talking about the life of being a truck, it's always over everybody's head because we're so stupid that we understand and you don't.
Yeah. Terry Spann says hello from Mark and Terry Spann in Burleson, Texas. Hey, Texas.
Love Texas. If I have to move to another state, somebody asked me, said, if you had to move somewhere else, where would it be? Texas would be top of my list. I appreciate the people in Texas. They don't put up with no crap. Most of them don't. It's the right way or the wrong way, and if you do it the wrong way, they're going to show you how to do it the right way or beat the hell out of you, one or the other. I don't know. But
remember what he said about separate vacations?
Yeah. Well, I like Texas. I tell you what, and I really like driving my RV through Texas and meandering.
Yeah.
Finding a 2-lane road, any 2-lane road in Texas.
Yeah.
And just meander some of the old towns. You see some old buildings, old courthouses, all kinds of stuff like that. The people are more than welcoming. They're always asking, where y'all from? Y'all ain't from around here, are you?
There's so much history there that, it's unbelievable. I mean, I read a lot, and I know a lot about the history there, but every turn we made, they come up with something different.
I like, and the thing is, with Texas, everything's huge.
Yeah.
I swear to you, it's so different when you go to Texas in an RV and you see a Dairy Queen out in the middle of nowhere. You just think, well, can I get in there to park and get some ice cream? Texas, you don't even think about that. They have a parking lot big enough for semi-trucks. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. Gas stations, I never really worried about too many gas stations as far as getting in and getting close to a pump to get gas and to be able to get out towing my car and not have to worry about squiggling around people and all this and that. In Texas, they have the gas station and the 5-acre parking lot that goes with it. Yeah. And I just love that.
Yeah. And Elaine Skursky says, I'm going out of New Jersey in November. I can only get near the front where they say you get sick until you get to the Carolinas. I'm stocking up on Dramamine.
What are you talking?
I think she meant the front of the ship. That's why they say.
That is the one thing that I said on the other one. And I took this advice from people that are a member of the Diamond Club for Royal Caribbean. So that means they go a lot. And he said, whenever you book a cruise, he said, one of my suggestions is get in the center of the ship. He said, it doesn't make any difference really what floor you're on. But he said, get in the center of the ship. I said, why is that? He said, because when it goes through the ocean and it rocks, if you're in the center, you don't really notice that too much like you do on each. And I never thought about that.
Yeah, and we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. So,
now I know.
Okay. Razor Girl says, my next cruise will be on Virgin. No kids and all inclusive except for alcohol. Sounds good. I've heard good things about them. I really have. Mark Sears is glad you almost made it to the 2 hours. I enjoy sitting up here in Michigan listening to you talking. Does that mean I have no life? That's kind of how I feel.
People throw stones, but we don't. Don't worry about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I sit in my what I call studio, but actually it's a studio slash my TV room slash junk room. Nobody wants to go in there. I don't really want you in there. You're going to fall over something.
Yeah.
But that's where I do everything. And here lately, I'm going to apologize for any of the news that you watch this week or maybe even next week. I'm still working with that camera. I don't know what happened. I had the adjustments on that thing just perfect, so everything was looking really good. By getting my skin color and the clarity of everything, you can be in focus. But in the camera, focus and clarity is two different things. So I'm in focus, but then when I look at it, my eyeball's not as clear as it should be, and I have to work with it, and I am working with it. So you'll see differences between this week and next week, and I'm still working. The only thing I can figure out, I talked to my channel manager, which is WrestleMania, by the way, and he seems to think what may have happened, I took the battery out of the camera to take it with me. I really don't know why I took the camera with me. I take all my cameras with me just in case. I never used it. I should have just left it at home with the battery in it. By taking the battery out, he seems to think that everything in the camera lost it and just went back to factory settings. That's the only thing we come up with. But all I know is I'm having trouble getting it focused the way I want it, getting the skin color the way I want it. And so I'll just let you know that now.
Paul Davis says it's the same here in Sharps Chapel, Tennessee, as it is in Texas. We take no bull from anybody heavily armed farming community.
I don't blame you. I mean, the world is getting to be a different place than what my grandpa grew up in. And my grandpa got a job at General Motors in Anderson, Indiana. He was one of the originators of starting the United Auto Workers Union in Indiana. So he took a lot of crap. The thing is, the guy was a war hero in our book in the family. He lost a leg from a hand grenade that was thrown at him, I think, years ago. And he lost 2 fingers from machine gun fire also after they sent him back into battle. And so I forget what I was going with this.
Grandpa?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, the world's changed. He went to get a job at General Motors when he applied for it. He lived in Alliance, Ohio at the time, and he drove to Anderson, probably in an old car of some kind. How he got there, maybe it was only...
He rode a horse.
Well, rode a horse, I don't even know. But he went to Anderson. He filled the application out when they had the employment office, and we both know where the employment office, we were both there.
Yeah.
And the guy told me, he said, well, I can't give you a job. And Grandpa said, why not? Because they're hiring everybody. They're starting a brand new factory, so they're hiring like thousands of people. He said, because you got a missing leg. He said, you can't stand on your and this is the difference between then and today. You got a missing leg. You can't work here. Grandpa said, well, I can do anything these other people can do. So here was the guy's final decision on whether to hire Grandpa or not. He said, okay. He said, see that 3-foot step ladder over there? He said, climb to the top of it. I want you to jump off of it on the ground, and if you don't hit the ground, I'll give you a job. That was his first physical.
And he made it.
And he made it.
Worked there for years. Kevin K says, hello, Skip and Sue, late again to the party. Well, where you been, Kevin? We've been here since noon. Let's see. Barbara Edwards says, I enjoy porch sitting. It's like talking to your nice neighbors. Well, thank you, Barbara.
Well, that's the whole idea of the porch sitting. If you ever notice, we just ramble. I just ramble. You know, there are certain people on here who wish I'd just shut up and let her talk all the time. And then Sue sometimes tells me to shut up, you know, so that's just what it is. We're just sitting down on the porch, and we're talking to you like you're our neighbor, and that's the exact feeling that we're looking for. And then if anybody's got any questions about what's going on around here or whatever, don't ask me if you really don't want to know, because I'm not going to pull punches. We don't have a script. I do not use clickbait like, you know. Here, let me give you clickbait. Hey, everybody, we're here at this brand new house. Wouldn't it be exciting to go inside and look at it? I don't do that.
Okay, let's see. Oh, and Racer Girl and Barbara Ebner talking back and forth about about doing a Viking cruise, the river cruises, and I know you.
I know I've heard of
those.
Viking, but I think that's a river cruise.
Yeah, it is. They're talking about the river cruises, and
somebody told me river cruises were better than these big ocean cruises.
Yeah, and then they sound.
Oh, I know who it was. Our used to be neighbors over here, Becky and what's his name?
Oh yeah, Becky and Steve. Yeah,
they believe in the river cruises. They took one down the. What's that town that Tom used to go to all the time? Over there.
Tom.
Paul.
Oh.
He used to go to all the time. He even did a video over there, made restaurant people say hi to me on his channel.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Damn it. Anyway, there's a Danube, I think, the river in front.
Oh, okay.
And he said
Budapest. He used to go to Budapest.
Budapest.
Yeah.
There's two towns there. One on this side of the river is called something. The one on the other side of the river is called something.
That's
anyway.
Buda and Pest.
Buda and Pest, I guess.
Yeah.
And he said there's a lot of river cruises up and down there. I wouldn't mind doing that one. There's something about the way that looked out there. I think they spoke English. Most people did. And I think I could do that one.
Well, and I think, that Racer Girl's going to try. She's going to do I think she's going to do one, and then I think that's on her list too, is to do a Viking cruise. And
you're just rattling on. I don't understand what you're saying.
You can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you, but well, Racer Girl said, well, she says we're going.
I was looking for the post actually because she was going on a certain kind of ship, but she had a list.
I thought she was going to start one.
No, she's got a list of things she wants to do.
See, they do it on our Discord all the time. They set these things up where we don't announce it on YouTube or anything, and you can go or not go. Like last night, I got an invitation, I guess Friday. I got to find out what time too. I think it's 4 o'clock to 6. We're going to go to Boosters because JC's going to be there.
Oh, isn't it cool?
Yeah. And then later on, like from 6 till, I don't even know, he's going to be at World of Beer World in Brownwood, which is where we usually go. So sometime Friday, 4 to 6, I think, I'm going to go down to Boosters to where JC's playing.
Oh, cool. Y'all love JC. He's on here. Actually, he's one of our subscribers. But he plays here like once a month. And I said, until he moves here, anyhow, he might do it more often. But
well, I got to talk to him and find out if he ever got his motorhome fixed.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Laura says, one of my choir buddies went on Viking River Cruise through the Netherlands and Germany in June. She really enjoyed it. No one under age 18 allowed on board.
Well, they got them on on different cruises here. I've seen them. I don't know if they are where they go or anything like that, but where they're 55 and over cruises. And I don't know if they have the same rules there as they do in houses. See, here they said the law says you can be 80% under the age of 55. But the truth of it is, they don't want anybody here under the age of 55. They want everybody over. So they can't age discriminate, but what they can do to dance around that is to say one person in the house has to be at least 55 years old.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how that got put in there, but anyway, that's a state thing. And then the local thing was, if you're 19 years of age and older, you can remain in that house full time. And I think the reason why they put that in there is for people that buy villas and rent them out. Because it seems like these rules in resident homes do not apply in rental homes. Because we've heard this argument, you've never read it in the paper, I'm telling you. We've heard this argument from people 100 times. That those people have been renting that house for a year, they got children living in there, and when they turn them in, they say there's nothing they can do about it because they're not residents, they're rentals. I don't get it.
Yeah, and that's not the norm. It just happens. Let's see, Laura says, supposedly Viking also cruises on the Mississippi River. That's what a cousin told me. And, and that's the only problem I would have with the Viking cruises. They do the river cruises. Those would be wonderful. It's the plane over there, because you can't get there from here.
Well, it goes back to what I just said. It's not really this traveling thing that bothers me. I got a little bit of money. I'm rich, but I got a little bit of money. I'd spend it on a good cruise here or there. But it's the problem of getting there. It's just even going to the ship here in Florida. It's not just like, well, let's just drive over to the boat and get on. Yeah. It's always a hassle.
But an 8 or 10 hour plane ride's not.
And that's the hassle that I hate. And that's why I don't do a lot of these things, because I just keep thinking to the first cruise we was on, the problems. Parking the car, going to the boat, stuff disappearing. And that was a rule on Royal Caribbean. You go to this other company, their rules might be different.
That's true. Barbara says, I miss the small town feel of life. Yes, I think we all do. That was the one nice thing when we went to North Dakota. Pembina has a population of 510, I think.
And no police.
And I said, and it was that kind of a thing. It was a small town feel. Everybody was either related or knew everybody else.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. And it was, 74 miles to get to the nearest Walmart. And they told me, well, when we go to town, we ask everybody if they need anything. And that's how they get through being so far out in the wild. And
we did that years ago.
On the farm, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to go to Kmart. We'll rep for anything you need. We'll get it for you.
Yeah, and she said that's how they worked up there. Is they, somebody was going to town, they always ask everybody if there's anything they needed. They bring back for them. So
you don't see that much anymore. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but like here, you got things now like Uber, Lyft. You call any restaurant, have food delivered to your house, they call Uber. So neighbor help
from Sam's Club yesterday.
Well, yeah, neighbors helping neighbors here. Yeah. That's an issue too. A lot of people say, well, why don't the neighbors help that guy out, mow his grass for him so don't get in trouble. Up north, that's what we would have done. I just drove my tractor over there and mowed the guy's yard. But here, people are old. They can't take care of their own house. As far as mowing goes, that's where everybody hires somebody. It's 110 degrees out there. I'm not push mowing this yard. I tried that for 5 years, and I went in the house several times. I swear to God, I felt like I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
God, it was awful.
Laura said there was a large cruise ship docked at my hometown of Dubuque, Iowa, about 7 days ago. Cool. I know that there's a
what? A large
cruise ship
parked at her house where?
In Dubuque, Iowa.
I think she's lying to you.
No, Dubuque is
cruise ship.
Well, that's what she said.
No, I don't think so. Those are ocean liners.
Okay. It was a big one anyhow.
That's what she said.
It says large cruise ship docked at my hometown of Dubuque, Iowa. Now, I don't know much about Dubuque.
Was it a big one?
She said
that's what she said.
A large one.
That's what she said.
Rachel Girl says, Barbara, I'm working on getting to the villages first. Yes, Rachel Girl, get here first.
Laura's on her way down here eventually. Did she ever get her condo sold?
I don't know. Laura, did you get the condo sold?
You get any takers, any buyers, any interested? I mean, I don't know, Chicago area. I don't know how things are.
People are, that's kind of slowed down, that kind of thing. So, but, okay. Lady J. Ram says, once you get the settings on your camera just the way you want it, consider writing the settings down to save in case you ever need to reset them again in the future.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't do that, but I did the next best thing. On the camera itself, there's 2 areas I can go to that I can save my settings in. And it's called DF. I don't know what DEF stands for. DEF1, DEF2, DEF3. 3 specific settings. So I saved my settings in DEF1. But apparently when the camera went back to factory settings, this is what we're guessing. I don't know if any of this is true. I went back to DEF1, there's nothing there. It's gone. Whatever was in there is gone. So now I'm just trying to figure it out. And I bought that camera specifically for videos at the desk. I don't never take it anywhere. I never take it off. It's there. And that's what we did W&L on. Mm-hmm. And I said I wanted a dedicated camera for W&L so I could sit down, turn everything on. It's in focus. Everything's right. I don't have to mess with it. Because it's a one-man show here. I don't have a crew of people to edit stuff. And I considered it, but I don't have. And, so now it's out of whack. And I'm going through things piece at a time. I go to YouTube a lot looking for the settings for this camera. And it's difficult because it's an older camera. The camera's probably 3 years old now, 4 years old now. And you might think, well, that's not that old. But when it comes to videos, everything's about the newest and greatest updates. And that camera's not one of them. So finding stuff to help me along here is difficult. But I'm just doing the best I can do. And the other thing I have trouble with, and I've mentioned it before, I don't know the secrets. Different lighting, different people that knows how to do the lighting. Brighter, dimmer, more red, more yellow, I don't know. But I have trouble with lighting. If I get the lighting just right, which is rare, I see the difference in the video. You probably don't see it, but I do. I'm going, man, that's good. The lighting there is right. I've even considered marking on the floor of exactly where everything has to be. Because everything I got in is portable. I can put it in a suitcase and take it with me. So I have to set it up each and every time I use green screen for the news. And I got 5 different lights. And each one of them's got to be done a certain way to get that perfection. And anyway, I'm working on it.
Yeah. So we're past that 2 o'clock mark. So
All right, let's get out
we're
of
gonna
here.
have to go.
I'm sick of talking to these people.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Love y'all. So leave your keys in the golf
Oh,
cart.
we done?
See you on the other
You
side.
ain't got no news telling them what's going to happen this week?
No, we're past that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
talk to you next week.
Well, I ain't there yet. I ain't even got the thing shut off.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Take
even
a
know.
happy pill.
I don't even know if I can see it. This is a new stand. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, we did get a new stand. Yeah. Hopefully this one won't